So this year has been pretty busy for me. I've done a lot of renovation work during the summer, built a new deck here. One thing I've noticed though is on the side of the house here, there's a couple of buckets of old cons, and they're just over here. They've been back here forever. So as you can see here, there's some dirt in there. I'm not sure where it's from exactly. These buckets have been outside so long that they're actually brittle to the touch. You can see the lid here is actually broken off. So I figure let's set up the GoldHog and see if we can recover anything, see if anything's in them at all. So the first thing we'll have to do is spray some water in here and soften it up a bit. So I got my recirculating set up here. I got my little sump pump, my GoldHog. Now normally I would hook it up to a power source, just a deep cell 12 volt battery, but I'm going to do something a little bit different here. I'm going to use the solar panel to actually run the sump pump and the recirculating sluice. I have here my eco-worthy 120 watt foldable solar panel here. I'm going to hook that up to the pump, see if I can just run strictly off the sun. So right now my solar output is about 13.5 to 14 volts. I'm not really facing the sun directly, so as long as it's above 12 volts, should be okay. Okay, so I have the leads ready to go. I have not tried this yet, so we're gonna have to see if this works or not. Okay, so I had a bit of a problem. It was kind of cycling on and off, and I fixed this by actually angling up the solar panel towards the sun. And now it's working. So now we can sluice some material. All right, we will start with this bucket of cons. See what we can get. Check this out. I've had this bucket of con so long, there's actually moss growing on the top. Just going through these cons, examining them, and it looks like it's crushed up quartz and rock. So I think that's from the crushed rock video I did a while back. You can check that out right about there. So just finished running those cons, the hard rock crushing cons, I think. Nothing obvious in the mats, but I will pan it out real quick and see if there's anything to note. Okay, I got all the cons down to a pan. Check it out here for you. Just a ton of pyrite in here. But pyrite moves because it's light. See if we can recover any trace amounts. And there is a little bit. As the helicopter flies over. Little specks there and there. So there are trace amounts of gold in this material. Alright, well, I'll recover that and I will move on to the next bucket, which I think will have the more fun stuff in it. So it's gotten a little bit hazy out. I don't know if you can see the sun there, but there's some light cloud, and what it's done to my solar panel here is it's made the voltage go down, so I was getting some hiccuping of the pump, so I had to disconnect the solar panel and go to a conventional electric DC. So ways around this, of course, would be to get more solar panels, better angles, hope the sun comes out, but what I'm going to do right now is just charge my battery, because it's good for that too. Okay, so here's bucket number 2, or I should say decrepit bucket number 2. I'm not sure where these cons actually came from. Looks like a clayish material on the top, so we'll start digging through it and hopefully we can recover some neat stuff out of that. Alright, let's get started. This stuff has seen a few winters in my backyard. So in this bucket, it's definitely more sandy, but I can see the remnants of crushed rock and quartz in there, so I think, again, it might be partial, but crushed rock cons. Okay, I just shut her down, and once again, examining the mats. Lots of busted up quartz. I expect to see the same results as the last bucket, maybe a little bit more. So let's pan it out. Okay, the results. This one looks a lot more promising. Lots of gold in this one. You can push it back up with your finger. It's small. There's a little bit of jet dry in here. You can see it. Tiny. Yeah, look at all that. Some black sand. Yeah, not too bad results, considering it was all in my backyard. So always keep your cons. You never know what might be in them. You find better techniques over the future, better technologies, better mats, and you can reprocess it. And you can find, just a little bit, but it's fun. Oh, now what to do with all my cons. I think it's time to fill some potholes in the back alley. Well, these were good buckets, but don't leave anything out in the sun for too long, otherwise this will happen.